Imagine two blocks of iron. One is left alone, smooth and untouched. The other is placed on an anvil and struck over and over again with a heavy hammer. The first remains a simple block of iron. The second is forged into a sword, the very same metal transformed by relentless pressure. Your mind is that block of iron, and modern life is designed to leave you untouched, comfortable, and soft. But deep down, you know the truth. Comfort is a cage. Safety is an illusion. And the path to a powerful, confident, and resilient mind, a Spartan mind, runs directly through the furnace of voluntary pain. For centuries, we've misunderstood the Spartans. We see them as brutal warriors, but their true power wasn't in their spears. It was in their psychology. They had a masterful understanding of how to forge the human spirit. Today, we are reclaiming that knowledge. Today, I will give you the 7 core psychological truths the Spartans lived by. Truths that explain exactly why leaning into pain is the only way to build unbreakable strength. This is not about historical reenactment. This is about your modern-day transformation.
The 7 Spartan Psychology Truths. Let's begin. Truth number 1. Pain builds your evidence library of resilience. The Spartan agoge was a decades-long system of controlled exposure to hardship. Why? To build a library of evidence in the mind of every warrior. When a Spartan faced a freezing night on campaign, he didn't panic. He could recall with absolute certainty dozens of colder nights he had already survived during training. His confidence wasn't theoretical. It was based on lived, visceral proof. Your brain is a prediction machine. It bases its expectations on past data. If your past data is all comfort and avoidance, your brain will predict that you are fragile. But when you voluntarily run that extra mile when you're tired, or have that difficult conversation you've been avoiding, you are depositing a new piece of evidence into your library. You are proving to your deepest self, I am the kind of person who endures. A library of comfort breeds anxiety. A library of overcome challenges breeds unshakable confidence. Truth number 2. Discomfort recalibrates your pain baseline. We have a pain baseline, the level of discomfort we consider normal and acceptable. In our modern world, that baseline is pathetically low. A slow Wi-Fi connection feels like a crisis. A critical comment can ruin our day. The Spartans intentionally lowered their baseline through constant exposure to hardship. A hard bed became normal. Simple food became a feast. A tough march became routine. When you voluntarily embrace cold showers, physical training, or fasting, you are not punishing yourself. You are performing a crucial psychological recalibration. You are telling your nervous system, this is not an emergency. This is manageable. When you do this, the minor annoyances of daily life lose their power over you. Your tolerance increases. Your baseline shifts from fragile to robust. The Stoic philosopher Musonius Rufus said it perfectly. For what prevents us from saying that the man who lives in luxury and the man who lives in hardship are both living against nature? The one is softened by pleasure, the other is hardened by pain. You must choose your hard. Truth number 3. Voluntary suffering robs fear of its power. The single greatest source of fear is the unknown. We fear what we have not faced. The Spartans understood this at a profound level. Their most brutal rituals, like the crypteia, were designed to send young men into the ultimate unknown, the wilderness, alone, and force them to survive. They were systematically confronting the primal fears of starvation, exposure, and isolation. By facing these fears voluntarily, they were drained of their terror. This is the essence of stress inoculation. You expose yourself to a controlled dose of a stressor to build immunity against the full-blown disease of panic. When you voluntarily step into a social fear, a physical fear, or a professional fear, you are not being reckless. You are administering a vaccine to your own psyche. You are proving that the thing you feared is not only survivable, but can be conquered. Truth number 4. The mind commands, the body obeys. The Spartan focus was never purely on the body. It was on using the body to train the mind. When a hoplite held his formation, shield locked with his brothers, it wasn't his fresh muscles that mattered. It was his disciplined mind refusing to yield to the primal urge to flee. The physical hardship was simply the arena where mental fortitude was forged. This is the secret every modern athlete and high performer knows. The last reps in the gym, the last mile of the run, are not about building muscle. They are about building obedience. You are teaching your body that it must listen to the commands of your mind no matter how much it screams to stop. Every time you push through physical resistance, you are not just getting stronger. You are establishing the core hierarchy of self-mastery. The mind is the king. The body is the soldier.
Truth 5. Adversity forges tribal trust and self-reliance. This seems like a contradiction, but it's a profound truth. The shared suffering of the Agoge created an unbreakable bond between Spartans. They knew with absolute certainty that the man next to them had endured the same hardships, the same cold, the same hunger. This created a level of trust that was their greatest tactical advantage. Simultaneously, the same process forged a deep, unyielding self-reliance. When you're sent into the wild with nothing, you learn that you can, in fact, depend on yourself. This creates a powerful duality, the strength of the pack and the strength of the wolf. In your own life, seeking out challenges with a team, a training partner, a mastermind group, builds powerful bonds, and facing solo challenges builds the core self-reliance that prevents you from being codependent and weak. Truth number 6. Hardship forces you into the present moment. A mind lost in anxiety about the future or regret about the past is a weak mind. It's divided. It's scattered. The Spartan in battle, the one enduring a grueling march, had no room for such distractions. His entire world narrowed to the next step, the next breath, the next swing of his sword. Hardship is a brutal but effective teacher of mindfulness. When you are in the middle of a grueling workout, you cannot be worrying about a work email. When you are deliberately sitting with the discomfort of a cold plunge, your mind is forced out of its abstract worries and into the raw, immediate reality of your body. This is a form of meditation. It cleanses the mind of clutter and forces you to be fully present, fully engaged, and fully alive. A comfortable mind wanders and worries. A mind under voluntary pressure is focused and powerful. Truth number 7. The obstacle is not the way. It is the way. This is the ultimate Spartan and Stoic truth wrapped into one. The Spartans did not see a harsh winter as a deviation from their plan. They saw it as the plan itself. The obstacle was not something to be avoided. It was the very training ground they needed to become stronger. Their philosophy was one of amor fati, a love of fate. They didn't just tolerate what happened to them, they embraced it as necessary fuel for their growth. When you internalize this, your entire relationship with life changes.
A failed project is no longer a failure. It's a data gathering mission that makes you wiser. A personal loss is no longer a reason to break. It's a lesson in depth that makes you more compassionate. A difficult task is no longer a burden. It's the anvil upon which your strength is being forged. You stop seeing life as something that happens to you and start seeing it as something that happens for you. The modern forge. These 7 truths are not relics. They are a psychological operating system for a life of power and purpose. Your modern agoge is all around you. It's in the decision to wake up early. It's in the choice to eat for fuel, not just pleasure. It's in the courage to speak your truth. It's in the discipline to do the work, especially when you don't feel like it. You don't need a spear and a shield. You need intention. You need to understand that every single time you choose the harder path, you are activating an ancient algorithm for building strength. You are telling the world, and more importantly, telling yourself that you are a mental Spartan. The furnace is hot. The anvil is waiting. The question is, will you remain a block of iron, or will you allow yourself to be forged into a weapon of purpose and power? Your first step is to commit. If you're ready to embrace this path, to train your mind and conquer yourself, then subscribe to this channel and ring the bell. We are a legion building mental fortitude, one disciplined thought at a time. Now, I want you to make this real. In the comments below, declare which one of these 7 truths resonates most with you and one small action you will take this week to live it. Public declaration creates accountability. Let's build that evidence library together. Remember, strength is not given. It is forged. Embrace the pain, become the Spartan. I'll see you in the next one.